EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Break it. 258. Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. Quick dash. Go. Check 43. Here we go.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Check out. Number 50. Hey, you block open.
Rodgers now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Open man is Allison, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 36.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On third down, Rodgers. He's got Adam Rams on the hookup. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking...
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. One play has them to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. Started the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Cooper was the intended target. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The tackle by Robert Quinn.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Jones. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Heavy on the edges. Number 50. 55. Check.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Eluding the pressure right. He'll try and run it. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Now Elliott. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Prescott from the gun on third. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Going up top. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report.
Hey, watch it.
Now Rodgers on 3rd down. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
54, Mike. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
All day, just like that. Just like 36.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Williams will try again. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half. Extra point by Marr, up and good. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. CD, we're already firmly in the month of November, so I want to go ahead and take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Right now, division leaders, New England, Baltimore, Houston, and KC. If it ended today, the wild cards would go to Buffalo and Indianapolis. And you think those are going to be the 6? Probably some shuffling along the way.
There will be some shuffling along the way, maybe more in seeding than in actual teams, because when you look into who's in the wild card hunt right now, Pittsburgh, Oakland, both 4-4, Tennessee and Jacksonville at 4-5. The way teams are playing, they may just knock off each other. I think all the teams we listed have a heck of a chance of making it to the playoffs.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. This is Elliott. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Rodgers sliding out of the pocket. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Well, never takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And Adams has it, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 16. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did. I
think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator is looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott now. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls as we saw there.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, 83 yards. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, here's Moore to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
Check 3, check 3. General West. Check 30. 5. Watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Looking to throw on second down. Rodgers. It's complete to Williams. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Packers go for it. Rodgers. And able to find Graham. Complete. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it.
Williams loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Lucky. Joker.
They go to Elliott again. And an alley to run. 20. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Looking deep for it. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
14 yards, good for a Cowboy 1st down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They find some open field here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They'll try to sweep with Elliott. Uses the stiff arm. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. Now Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. To throw, it's Rodgers. Being chased out left. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Steps away to his left. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Packers pick it up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
Well, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jeff Heath.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And that's Elliott, complete. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, but now it's 3rd down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. One final try now for Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this one will end.